made that shit up there though?
That's no Rillos, but I didn't even know that. Ooh.
Was happening? Episode 12 of the Mommas Boys podcast.
We back. I just had to get done with a quick little Instagram live, and that was pretty fun. But we're back.
You notice anything different about this set?
I actually do want to say something different about this set. I feel a little off because Vito is, big swinging dick in town with his new iPad.
Gang.
Now, I'm
Gang.
actually extremely happy for him because I want an iPad myself because they're just sick. Like, I'm just looking at it right now, and I might get an iPad and never have a phone again.
I got this iPad student discount. They gave me a free pair of AirPods.
Wait,
free. I know that shit isn't really free.
Oh, it was kind of like in the cost.
Yeah, it was
hitting the cost a little bit.
Had to count this pen too.
Also, we have some new news also.
Facts.
Because other than a fake sponsorship, starting August 14th, I'm officially an employee of Annie Energy. Shout out.
That's in 3 days, bro.
3 days. Shout out to Warren, Michael, Bryce, Josh, all y'all. I'm going to make that TikTok because I'm running their TikTok for as long as I can. I'm going to make that TikTok so fucking lit. I promise you. That's going to be my promise to you.
About to make it bussin'.
Oh, it's going to be so bussin'. It's going to basically be me giving out Annie to everybody and then me doing my skits of like drinking Annie and then getting buff and everything else. So shout out Annie Energy, and we're going to Annie Energy to the moon.
You're so buff.
I'm buff.
You're fucking buff.
I'm very buff.
Yo, shout out your haircut too.
Bro, first time I've ever gotten a new haircut since I was like 9.
Bro. That's what's up.
And that's like respect. And that's like the first time. Because, right, I've always looked the same, like maybe not weight-wise, but like hair-wise, et cetera, dress-wise, et cetera. So, like, I'm never used to, like, new compliments or anything like that. I'm used to, like,
yo, nice hair,
shit,
bro.
Like, nice shoes. Say if I bought a pair of, like, shoes or whatever. I've never gotten, like, the nice that's a fire cut, bro.
It's because everyone's just, like, it's because everyone already knows it's so fly, but they've already said it so many times, They just probably assume you know that you're looking fly.
Is that what y'all doing? Is that exactly what you guys do? Because I respect it, and I appreciate that
a lot. The Mommas Boys podcast doesn't even know that my hair used to look like
way shorter than that. You and me used to be buzz cut brothers, for real.
Facts, yo.
Like, I was a buzz cut bro.
Another one.
Yo, bro, buzz cut for life. But now, look at his hair.
We're also Little League bros.
Bro, DeMarcos.
Yo, shout out to Little League World
also
Series
YMCA
right
basketball. Gang.
Facts.
Shout out to everything. Yo, me and Vito were really the sports bros.
And JCC basketball.
And JCC. Now we just the podcast bros. Like, it's a circle of life. Oh, also,
shout out to Little League World Series.
Shout out to the Little League World Series and all the 6'4", 220 Little Leaguers out there. There's a good amount of them.
Yeah, we got to talk about the ME team.
Have to. So, yeah, shout out to the 2017, right?
Nah, was it 2017?
I think it was 17. Not 100% sure. We'll get the date or we'll get the year. But shout out to that Maine Endwell Little League squad. They even got
super fucking impressive.
Didn't they even get shouted out by Drake, right?
Did Drake shout
them out? I could have, again, that's fact check me, please, but I'm almost positive Drake shouted them out. But my favorite thing about
2016.
My favorite thing about Maine Endwell winning the Little League World Series was on national television. On ESPN at their championship game.
I watched that game.
So did I.
I remember watching it.
And did you hear what they said at the end of it?
No, what'd they say?
When they were announcing that Maine Endwell won, they called Maine Endwell a little suburb outside of Binghamton, New York.
Oh, that's obviously.
Gang!
And yo, like, before we even carry on this conversation, if you're... if you're from Binghamton. If you're from Vestal, Maine Endwell, Johnson City, UE, you're not from Binghamton. So don't stop jacking that.
Now, I actually have a question for you because I didn't go away to college. I mean, I did for like a semester, but like I didn't go away. I just went to BU. Did you ever encounter that? Like people that you knew from other schools telling people they were from Binghamton?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fake ass
You know who
shit.
you are.
Yeah. Because Brennan's told me that.
Binghamton.
Liam's told me that. So many people have told me like, yeah, I went away to college and like people that I know that are from Vestal or fucking SV will just be like, yeah, we're from Binghamton.
Yo, see, like, is Seton an exception? But like you could live in fucking...
Yeah, Seton's absolutely not an exception.
No, Seton's not an exception. But fuck Seton.
Fuck Seton. Absolutely fuck Seton, yeah. And even more now, right? Because, like, fuck Seton. I don't want to get not going to get too political with it. That's not the goal here. But with places like Seton, I always hated it because, like, say now it's coming up more where, like, everyone's getting mad. You can't demand our kids to wear masks in school, bro. If you were a girl and you didn't wear a skirt, or those ugly ass khaki pants at Seton, there was no ifs, ands, or buts. They were sending you home.
And like, bro, like in other countries, people like wear masks because they have like a common cold because they have the courtesy and respect to not want to get other people sick.
And it's so insane to me. And I can't even. I'd get on this topic if like say I actually had like. If I was on TV debating someone who I didn't like, because there's just so much to get into this topic of why anti-vaxxers and people against are just morons.
Yeah, it's like you want to know what 95% of it is. Mm-hmm. Probably I don't even. It might be 100%, but like just fucking white privilege.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and
privilege entitlement.
Don't get me wrong. Misinformation is a big one of the biggest parts, but not even misinformation. Just the misspoken text, because one of the biggest things I saw was that, and it was a huge topic like last week, that your kids have to be vaccinated before going back to school. Yeah, everyone was mad at that.
That's why I got vaccinated.
Not only that,
which I'm absolutely okay with.
Absolutely okay with. Like, I was vaccinated well long before this, but the reason that it made me mad was that spiked a whole new thing, right? That's causing another uprising, that people feel that their rights are taken away because they're making you get the COVID vaccination before you go back to school. Let me just say this really quick. Does anyone know what the fuck an immunization record is? Just look it up. Immunization record. That is what me and Vito and anybody who watches this or anybody in the world has had to get since kindergarten every single year before attending school.
Literally.
And for the flu, for everything. It doesn't matter that 8 years ago, if you were in 4th grade and you weren't immunized with like the proper vaccine,
you couldn't
whether
go to
it was
school.
the flu and mumps, they weren't letting you into school.
They weren't letting you in school.
Like, nothing's different about this. It's just the way they're calling it a mandate instead of just, hey, we're adding COVID to the immunization record.
And it's like what really like pisses me off is that all these white people who are claiming that claiming and being so fucking arrogant about that their rights are being stripped away, that it's
I know this is so like, it's just stupid for me to say,
it's
because
horrible.
It's not doing. White people suck.
Well, yeah, no, and it's horrible. Like, it's just like I had an encounter with someone that said that mask wearing was the most like immoral thing that has ever happened in the United States of America. And it's just like, yo, like are you that
I would
blind
debate
to everything?
spitting on that person.
It's like yeah, and it's just like, as white people, like, we know that like we are never speaking from any place of oppression ever
for anything.
Like we know that our privilege exists,
mm-hmm.
and like we have to use our privilege to give platforms to people of color and just do it.
Yeah, sort of like Kanye said in his famous song "Gorgeous" off of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Great album.
Is that he would have been booked and cooked if his name was Jalen and not Brandon. And that's true. Very, very true. Just with certain privileges around here and everything like that. And it's been going on for a long time, and, it's just been like that. But to get on an even more negative note, no, I'm kidding, not a more negative note, because that's pretty bad. But, Donde es Donda. Donde este. No, because I'm taking it back. I think it has to be este, because it's the subject, the direct object pronoun. Boom, that's what it's called. I'm in Spanish too.
You're taking Spanish too right now?
Yeah, because I have to take it. So I'm not well-versed whatsoever, so don't hate on me. I'm still learning. I'd love to be able to speak it one day.
Yo, being bilingual is like a goal of mine at some point.
Very, very much a goal. Like, don't get me wrong, right now I'm enjoying learning like vocabulary and whatnot, but
yeah,
I want to be able to at least like not be stressed over a grade when I want to learn it one day. Like, I want to be able to sit down on my own time and like do it. But yeah, Kanye, what the fuck?
Where that shit at? It's not coming. It's coming.
It is. You know what I think's gonna happen?
What?
And I'm praying, and Kanye West is absolutely probably the top dog at not giving a fuck about anything ever. But I really think, for the first time in human history, we might see two goats drop on the same day, because they don't like each other, and that's a known thing.
Drake and Kanye, we're both trending today.
I know, because Kanye is still, people are like, where the fuck? He keeps pushing it back.
That's some petty Kanye shit.
See, that's my point, right? See, that's my point right there, is that why I think it would happen, because don't get me wrong, are they more mature? Are they older? Are they in their
Drake is.
No, are they in their 30s and 40s, et cetera? Yes. Drake is still extremely petty. He's still
Drake.
He literally had a, diss back and forth a couple years ago, and he started out his career petty.
Facts, but I don't think Drake would ever initiate anything.
No, but I believe Drake likes a challenge, and as much and Kanye will always, and I've talked about this before. Kanye will always be on my top 5. Always. It doesn't matter if his next 80. It doesn't matter if his next 80 projects suck. He's one of those artists that
which they would never.
Which they wouldn't. But just if they did, like say if they were like Jesus is King and shit like that, like those were awful. But I don't care because his first 5 projects, he's one of the few where your first 5 projects doesn't matter what you do after. You're solidified.
And like you just said about Drake liking a challenge, fucking Drake would love if his album got more
absolutely
sells, got more everything.
But why? Oh, go on.
And what if Kanye had just been building this up for so long because he wants that too? Mm-hmm. Like, bro, this is because, bro, when Donda was supposed to drop, wasn't Donda supposed to drop last fucking Thanksgiving?
Yeah, like deep ago. And then obviously push it off, which is okay.
Even Kim was like, "Yo, Donda's gonna be worth the wait. It's gonna be great."
Which like I still do agree with, but the only thing
I think it's gonna be great.
Well, I don't know why I said but, because not like a but about Donda. But with the thing with Drake and all them is that I don't see even a slow decline in his career anytime soon, music-wise. I mean, business-wise, he's just going to keep making more money. But music-wise, I don't see Drake not dropping fire anytime soon. But what Drake has to keep in mind here is this man, Kanye, has Jay-Z, Pop Smoke, Pusha T, Lil Baby.
You know who he cut, though?
Who?
He took DaBaby off it, though. That's what I saw.
Did he really?
I saw a tweet.
Good for him. No, good for him. I mean, don't get me wrong that like
DaBaby is canceled right now. He can't be fucking homophobic.
DaBaby is canceled. Stop being fucking homophobic. Think? And I don't want to sound ingenuine like this, but I tweeted about it today. Do I think DaBaby's going to come back? Absolutely, I do, because I'm not necessarily a fan of his music. I don't listen to his music like that. He has 1 billion streams plus almost every year, so he's got fans. They're out there. Like, I know people like me joke that I don't know where they're at, but there's 1 billion of them motherfuckers. They're out there. And not to get too like annoyed with it, whatnot, but my point with DaBaby being released, and I know these are all different instances, and I know some are more severe, but that's exactly why I'm making this point. Bill Cosby was just released from prison. He's fine. He's a free man. No one cares. And celebrities are actually very, very happy he's home. There were women celebrities when Harvey Weinstein was getting locked up, and still somewhat relatively today, that still actually have some support for him or aren't believing everything about him, which, again, crazy.
Fucking sickening.
Mark Wahlberg was actually arrested 2 different times and booked to the point where this is on his record.
Fucking hate crimes.
Beating up an African American for being African American and beating up a Vietnamese person for being Vietnamese. Now, Bill Cosby is still being praised. Harvey Weinstein, thank God, is going to die in a jail cell. Mark Wahlberg is still one of the biggest movie stars on the planet. My whole point with this, as long as you're good at what you do and consistent, there's no such thing as being canceled. There's just not. Name one person that's actually been canceled and they're done. Harvey Weinstein doesn't count because, again, he's going to die in a jail cell. My point with that was Bill Cosby is a free man right now. Free. He had over 60 allegations and actually some proof, but he's free. But he's not canceled. He might be canceled by like maybe a minority group of people, like depending on how many people even care about Bill Cosby at this point. But of why I think, you know how many other rappers in the last 2 years have said worse shit? And I think DaBaby's a fucking moron. Like, I'm not agreeing with what... I'm not taking a side of Chris Brown in this, but just because Chris Brown also is still a piece of shit to me. I'm sorry. I love my Riri. But Chris Brown brought up a very, very good point. Go to your shows, perform your music, have fun, thank the crowd, and importantly, shut the fuck up. Just go.
Just get paid.
Why do you need to have such a crazy... If you want to be crazy, be like, yo... Fuck you, I hate you. That's fine. You'll lose one fan.
That was just like such a blatant, disrespectful, arrogant outburst of just nonsense.
Moron. Like nothing. And it's just like, who even says shit like that? Like, where it's just like, you know, you got someone to be like, haha, you're a this or you're that. But like, who just, if you don't have this and this, like if you don't have these 2 deadly diseases, put your kid.
But you know what I also hate? I also hate that like, we're going to talk about Barstool being, like kind of headlining MLB news, but fucking Barstool is like has also has racist, homophobic fucking people working for them, and they don't get canceled.
They do not get canceled.
And
now
I think that's bullshit.
I also which I'd agree. I just think it has to do a lot with like just confidence, consistency. Where it's like say Prez, right? Like Dave Portnoy, where a lot of people. He actually on the Dave Portnoy show, he had a. Hater, as like he called him. He had like some random fan who was tweeting at him nonstop and hates Barstool. He had that guy on the podcast to be like, all right, cool. Like, I want to start talking to some of you guys in person now. Like, let me know exactly what your problem is. And I actually didn't know some of this shit either because I didn't really start paying attention to Barstool maybe until like 3-4 years ago. But this guy was like, you were rude in misogyny or this, talking about the rape joke that Prez made that obviously was what kind of like made him viral and shit like that. And even Prez said, he's like, hey, look, man, like I know like the internet's forever. I can't take it back. Like I have to stand behind it. Like not stand behind it, agree, but like I just had, I'm the one that said that. That was me. But what I didn't know is like when Barstool first started, they had Barstool Sports, and then they had started with an F. I forget what it was called, but they had a female Barstool Sports, and then Jenna Marbles, who's one of the biggest YouTube stars of all time, she's the one that ran that for them, and then went on to be big YouTube. Then there's Call Her Daddy. So I would say that Barstool has people within their organization that are trash, but so does Walmart and Target.
I don't like their MAGA views.
Neither do I.
All their Dave Portnoy is a MAGA boy. I don't like that. And
even Big Cat was tight about that.
Yeah, and like they're just openly pushing racism, openly like accepting that, and it's just like I don't know.
I completely with the accepting part. Because just being okay with that. Because like again, I'll at least defend him to the point where like Prez now, he at least as much as I see him in terms of like interviews, podcasts, because he's really in front of a camera all the time, and he at least now at 30/4, however old he is, definitely doesn't have much, racism / but back then, yeah, absolutely.
And I'm like trying to separate like the people from
their
company.
Craft, yeah.
Like I'm trying to separate like I'm trying to I'm judging them as judge them as people, but the company like I feel like embraces that and
has like a Proud Boy
and pushes it.
Yeah, which I completely agree with. That's kind of like what happened with Nelk with me.
Yeah, I don't fuck with the Nelk boys
either. I
either.
used to love Nelk, and a lot of people started disliking Nelk because their content got more. Well, no, originally people started disliking Nelk because their content got more good. Like their quality was better. It wasn't as like raw as they're going into a college lecture and fucking over people.
And I will say that like the way like their videography, all that shit is amazing.
Beautiful.
But I don't
fuck
with their mentalities. I don't fuck with how they move. I don't
when it comes to Nelk, right? Like I originally liked all of them, like, and I don't hate them, but when it comes to Nelk, right, their biggest, it's not my fault, was that when it came to the Trump stuff, this and that, their biggest thing was, well, we're from Canada, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm like, I get that. I do get that. It does
fucking matter.
But I get it, you have fans all around the world now because you're huge, but your main fan base was stupid fucking moron douchebag frat boy kids from 18 to 24
in America
who all suck. Like,
yeah.
Thank God I'm not in a frat. They all suck, and you knew how people like Kyle and whoever the managers at Nelk were know, like, wow, our fans are fucking morons who can't really think for themselves, and they just want to get really fucked up.
And there's so many of them.
So many,
and they'll just blindly like you just said, like the Nelk boys said, why do you guys even care? We're from Canada. Like why it doesn't even matter, but it does matter because they're just
most of your fans are from here.
They're blindly following bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just like
this bullshit is impacting America on a fucking social, racial level.
Yeah, and another thing is, why do you think when Nelk started kind of getting a ton of hate and just like their fan bases started getting way more MAGA Proud Boy, why do you think all their videos were all of them? They were in Alabama, they were in Tennessee, they were in Florida, like because they knew what they were doing. They knew that their fans were college kids from the South.
That's fucking disgusting right there.
Yeah, no,
that's disgusting.
And again, Kyle Forgard, who is he's the head of Nelk. He always on videos plays it off like he's dumb. He is the furthest thing from dumb. Oh. Very far. Because I was watching...
He knows what he's doing.
Every single video they have ever made has literally been to the T, like scripted him. Like he knows what he's doing. He's a very, very talented dude. And I love him and his work. But the fans he's created, like I love Nelk and their work, but the fans Nelk created fucking suck.
They've literally like had interactions with Donald Trump
on multiple occasions,
and that's a step even further into horrible.
Absolutely,
because they see okay, well the Nelk boys are supporting Donald Trump. Oh my gosh, they met Donald Trump. Donald Trump loves the Nelk boys. So
we love Donald Trump now.
We love Donald Trump. We love the Nelk boys. We love. Like it's just it's disgusting,
a crazy thing. And that's why it's like I thank God for because Nelk was like I have always watched YouTube stuff for like sports highlights and shit like that. Probably like 4 years ago is when I really got into YouTube like vloggers. Thank God. Let me just say right now, thank you Logan Paul, thank you Danny Duncan, huge goddamn thank you to David Dobrik. And the list goes on
Dobrik.
for me not having to watch Nelk. Thank you guys so much, because now I don't have to watch Nelk anymore because you guys put out enough content. So I appreciate that.
Fuck you,
Every single one of you.
Fuck you, David Dobrik, right now.
Nah, I love you, David Dobrik. I know my co-host will say that, and I understand where he's coming from with that. But I've came to the conclusion, David, that you need to be around. I love David Dobrik. So
you know who we need to give a big fuck you to?
Who?
Boosie.
Bro, yeah, Lil
Fuck
Boosie.
Boosie.
I also want to say this too, because I want
to homophobic.
This is one of the I want to be able to clip this up, because I even see people on my Snapchat, et cetera, that be like quoting Boosie from time to time. If you listen to Lil Boosie, if you see a post of his, whether it's a verbal one or a written one, if you take anything Lil Boosie says seriously, or if you take advice from him, I promise you, I do, like, very seriously, I don't want you around me. I do not want you around my person.
Like, I've probably heard a Boosie song, but I can't just pick out a Boosie song if I hear it. Like,
I could never. No. I couldn't even tell you the name of one of his songs now.
No, I couldn't tell you that either.
Not only that, like, he's maybe like the 4th biggest artist from like Louisiana. Yeah. So like, good for you, my guy. And also, this is a dude who hired a hooker for like his son's 9th birthday party. I was just about to say that. So yeah, again, like Lil Boosie, if you want to take his advice, fine. You're not going to be able to speak or write in sentences by the age you're 40. Because if you look at him now, he doesn't even know how to talk.
No, Lil Boosie is fried. But that hiring a prostitute to suck his 9-year-old son's dick,
insane.
What?
No one does that. I'm not even gonna entertain the who does that, because nobody does that. That's not a normal thing to do. That's not an okay thing to do. That's just fucked, Boosie. So yeah, that's like honestly, fuck him. I really hope no one, from rappers to normal people in everyday life, take his advice or hype him up, because he's the least person ever that deserves it.
His most recent homophobic outburst was about
one of our favorites.
Oh, I'm so happy about this.
I'm so happy about this because he keeps winning at Twitter. I love Lil Nas X.
Oh, I wasn't even going to talk about that, but I love Lil Nas X.
Who else did Boosie come from?
Lil Boosie was hating on DC Comics, Robin coming out as bisexual.
Which, shout out to Robin.
Shout out Robin. Shout out DC Comics. They also put out an amazing statement, and I'm going to read it. If you're a member of DC's significant queer community, then you already understand why this is a big deal. In fact, you've probably been waiting for a moment like this for a very long time. But for the uninitiated, please allow me to explain. So, queer coding is... I'm about to read it. Queer coding in comics, the idea of expressing your true self through a colorful costume as you hid your dual identity from the world, was once considered too scandalous for a largely homophobic nation. And
my son Robin's been colorful for a minute too.
Yeah,
red,
like
green, yellow.
Robin, I don't know when Robin debuted, but it's probably around the 50s.
Yeah, no, because that's what he debuted probably when like a little after Batman originally debuted.
And so, as queer kids were finding a piece of themselves in characters like Robin, judges and psychologists, and even the comic book publishers themselves, wary of a culture turning against them, did everything they could to censor queer themes from comics for decades to come. But even as those themes were stifled, the speculation on Robin's sexuality has never stopped. And I fucking why would you want comic books to be so authentic? People aren't just straight and gay, and like people like sexuality is a spectrum.
Completely correct.
Sexuality is so fluid and open, and like what I fucking love about Concrete Comics. Shout out Lyle.
Lyle's Can't wait to have you on again.
Yeah, Lyle's coming back soon. They're making real, diverse, open comic books, like real fucking life. And why wouldn't you want that?
Yeah, that's exactly. And also, like, all right, first off, I have to touch on the only reason I did the blowing my mind thing, and not to be one of those people that like thinks they knew the whole time, because I don't. I'm not saying I'm one of those people. I'm not the biggest comic book person ever, but after Vito just read that, kind of the queer coding and kind of like the hiding themselves, I promise to God, I never sat there and was like, oh my God, I love Robin, like he's bisexual. But I always saw like he was kind of just, that just kind of blew my mind, because that's kind of one of those I just feel like you always low key knew, but like you never once questioned. So shout out to Robin. My other point with that is, I like this isn't saying or like going against what Vito was saying with making them more real life, because I love that. But also it's like, bro, when it comes to Robin, he's a fictional character that was created in a fictional universe to fight crime with Batman. Why do you give a shit about anything he's doing other than fighting crime? If he's gay, straight, this, that, who cares?
It's because people don't want their children idolizing gay people, bisexual people, black people, people of color,
and masculinity bullshit.
Like it's just like
too much.
It's just horrible.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
I do like and that's what I meant to say. Where it's like I wasn't going against what you were saying because like I like the integration of them both. Where it's like you can make that fictional comic book character have very real life traits, or at least like just make their spectrum just like, bro, they're a real person at this point. Yeah. It's like you guys are idolizing them like they're real. You're dressing up as them. That's your imaginary friend is Robin.
Everybody can read comic books, right?
Absolutely.
So why not have comic books that
cater to certain people and shit like
people
that.
Can relate to?
Exactly. I mean, shit. So do TV shows. So do movies. So do
books. Comic books have been a very integral piece of my childhood growing up.
Absolutely. I mean, all right. Say I wasn't the biggest reader, so I'm not saying I wasn't a comic book person, but movies that were based off comic books were my entire childhood. So it's like obviously the fuck. Like my mom, I remember specifically spent.
Shout out Mama Walsh.
I love you, Mom. She spent days and weeks and weeks. I think it might have actually been months on Danny's part, but me and Danny were always Batman and Robin. That was our favorite.
Yeah, Batman's my favorite.
Danny was Robin. I was always Batman because Batman was always mine. Still is to this day.
That's kind of funny that you were Batman and he was Robin, and you're the little bro.
Mm-hmm. But you know what's so funny about that dynamic is because like the characters switched, but the dynamic didn't. Because like I'm the little brother and I was Batman. He's the older brother and he was Robin, but he still was in charge because he was the old,
he's still the older bro.
So technically in our dynamic, Robin was the leader and Batman was the sidekick, which was cool. But yeah, I just don't understand why people
are so horrible.
Don't get me wrong, when it comes for standing up for somebody in the LGBTQ community, I will do it 100 out of 100 times. But say if it comes up in a conversation of just like almost having to explain to someone, like I want that person to get taught, but I'm just so tired of it. I can't do it anymore because it's just like, why the fuck do I have to sit here and explain to you why that person loving or like being attracted to something else like has to be okay? It just is.
You know what's
the fuck?
You know what's crazy?
What?
People expecting people of the LGBTQ plus community like to come out and how that's like just an expected thing. Why the fuck is that like expected?
I don't think people realize there's still people like that get murdered in other countries for being gay.
Yeah.
Or just LGBT, trans, whatever it may be. It's like, why do you give a shit? Like, bro, just let them be happy. Like, you're happy with your spending so much money on your gun and your suppressor and this and that and your little stuff in the background. You're fucking weird. You go to your backyard and shoot your guns. You are so weird. This dude, like my uncle who's in love with his boyfriend, so much cooler and way more interesting than any dude who would have anything to say about him. So it's just like, that's where you lead in that one, you know?
Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck the Nelk Boys. Fuck Barstool.
That's the only one I can't agree with. But yeah, the rest, yeah. Because I'm talking, bro, I 50% with that. Because obviously I still love my BFFs, Brianna.
Yeah, and I do like
but Barstool as a whole, absolutely.
I do like some people within Barstool.
Facts. But speaking on the sports world too, bro, NBA free agency has been fucking insane.
NBA young boy free agency.
NBA, free him.
He's locked up too?
He's been locked up for the last 3 months.
That's fucked up, bro. Free poo? Free poo shicey?
Yeah, free poo.
We said free poo last episode. Too.
Facts. I said free Melly.
And I said...
You said no. I still said free Melly. Because until the gavel or whatever you want to call it, until this thing hits and says you are guilty, innocent. Free Melly.
Proven guilty.
But yeah, I'm not going to lie. Like NBA free agency was fucking insane. Everybody just went everywhere.
Everyone went everywhere, which I love. Who's your favorite? Obviously.
Out of the trades?
Well, yeah, let's talk about our favorite acquisitions.
So my favorite acquisition, because, and I'm not gonna like lie and be like, oh, he's one of my top 5 favorite players, because he wasn't. But I have always loved everything about DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, exactly. He knew how much time he had. Great use of the dribble to get the look. DeMar DeRozan. Yeah, like I said, he's got to keep doing this right now. I just finished saying it.
I like him so much. I like him so much.
I agree with that statement. Never been one of my top 5 players, but always had so much respect for him. Great player.
He's a huge mental health advocate. He's a good guy. He's from Compton. Like he just, you know what I mean? Like he's just a cool dude off the court, and he's a very good basketball player on the court. Now, obviously, he got fucked. I mean, I wouldn't say fucked, but, he got a shit end of his stick
sacrifice
on the Kawhi Leonard trade.
Drake sacrificed him.
Exactly, which as much as I love DeMar DeRozan,
I wish he had a ring.
I would have made that trade too. It's Kawhi Leonard. But I've always liked him, and now he's pairing up with Lonzo Ball and Zach LaVine, et cetera. So I really think we can see the Bulls in the playoffs.
So, oh no, well the Bulls will 100% be in the playoffs, and obviously the East is tough right now. They got to go through the reigning champs, the Nets.
Facts.
The
Heat.
The Heat are really good right now.
Especially now.
He's got
an all-star point guard.
Yeah, but that Bulls team has 3 all-stars and a borderline all-star in Lonzo Ball. And don't forget that Kobe White, and they had a top 5 pick last year,
something like that.
Patrick Williams, who was a rookie last year.
But that's like what I forget what
they're deep.
I forget what talk show I was listening to, but they were like, yeah, because Lonzo Ball is a point guard, and so is Kobe White, and it's just like they were like, oh yeah, but they were just like, just file that under. Yeah, so when it comes to like the Chicago Bulls and having Lonzo Ball and Kobe White being a point guard, it's just like, bro, file that under a good problem to have.
Yeah,
it's like a legitimate good problem to have.
And like Kobe White's a scorer, Lonzo Ball's a distributor. It's great to have those two like
absolutely.
I don't know the word for it, but
I was gonna say
complimenting each other.
Facts, and plus, like, I mean, Lonzo Ball might maybe want. I mean, I know it's probably won't happen, but like one of them might want to play the 2. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like DeMar DeRozan's definitely a 3, or him and Zach LaVine are 3-4.
Yeah,
like,
so what they're gonna do is Lonzo's gonna play the 1, Zach LaVine's gonna play the 2, DeMar at the 3.
Who is their big man?
Patrick Williams at the 4, Nikola Vucevic at the 5.
They got Vucevic.
Yeah, Vucevic.
He's actually a really, really good big man.
Yeah, he's a consistent all-star.
So Chicago's going to come to play.
Yeah,
okay.
Chicago is really fucking good.
So shout out Chicago. You know who is the absolute, and I know he's never going to see this podcast, so who gives a shit, but the biggest loser in arguably the history of NBA free agency?
Who?
Dennis Schroeder.
Yo, don't talk about my boy like that. Dennis, that's my boy. Yo, but also with Lonzo Ball, for the Bulls, the teams playing the Bulls, they're not going to be worried about Lonzo Ball.
No.
They're going to be worried about all these other guys on the team.
And his shot got better, too.
Which
is fire. So I'm hyped for them.
But
now,
Dennis Schroeder. All right, so it sucks. He turned down $84 million. Horrible.
I do feel bad to say this, though, too. The Celtics aren't making the playoffs.
No, they're making the playoffs.
How about $5 bet? Just $5. Nice little $5 bet.
You saw it?
You saw the $5 bet. You saw the shake. Again, not saying that. Because, again, I think, you know what? Having
Tatum's top 10.
Tatum, Schroeder, and Brown. That's not bad. Oh, Tatum's absolutely top 10. I would never take anything away from Tatum's game.
Jaylen Brown's top 25. Maybe.
I would just say I can easily agree with Jason Tatum's absolutely top 10. I just would need to see like 25 good players before I say that about Brown.
And Dennis Schroeder? Yeah, I don't know. Like, did he have a bad year last year?
Horrible.
I know he was bad in the playoffs.
Very bad. God awful. No, I mean, even in the year, it was really bad.
But the year prior on OKC, he averaged 19.
Let me take that back.
15 this year.
Wait, let me just take that back too, because didn't they offer him the $84 million when it was still the regular season?
Mm-hmm.
So he had to. I mean, you're not just gonna offer someone, and like not saying he was bad, but like there's far more point guards you can offer $22 million a year to
than Dennis Schroeder.
So he had to have been doing good during the regular season.
Yeah,
but he clearly just thought
he averaged 15 a game. He's had 2 seasons where he's averaged 19 a game. Mm-hmm. Like Dennis Schroeder he's not bad. He's no bum. He's just starting. He's just starting point guard.
He was on the Hawks, right?
Yeah, he was on the Hawks. He was Jeff Teague's backup.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Shout out Jeff Teague.
Jeff Teague got a fucking ring this year.
That he did. And then what was I gonna say? And then so who else is going places? Obviously we got everyone went to the Lakers. Everyone. You got Melo, Russell Westbrook.
Yo. They could have made the dreamboat happen, minus D Wade.
If they wanted to bring him back for a 1-year contract. Guess who got signed to another 1-year contract for his 19th season?
Udonis Haslem.
Yo, shout out to UD40. UD40.
Absolutely,
shout out to him. But no, and then another really good feel-good piece, because I've always liked this player, and your team did him so. Brad Stevens did him so
Isaiah
dirty.
Thomas.
Dropped 81 the other night.
Shout out Isaiah. I've always loved Isaiah
Me too.
Thomas.
I've really liked him. I feel like from the day he got traded, everything that's ever bad, he's one of the people who everything that's ever bad happened to him, I've had nothing but sympathy. Because I do feel bad for him.
The Boston Celtics go through point guards like a fucking pair of socks.
Yeah, and I don't know why.
And Isaiah Thomas
was
great.
Good.
He's a great guy off the court. Great fucking dad. Amazing basketball player.
Yeah.
All he wants to # the slow grind.
Facts.
All he wants to do is do what he loves.
Play basketball. He wants to win.
He wants to get buckets.
And again,
King of the fourth.
Isaiah Thomas was one where it's just like,
29
very small, very underrated,
5'9".
very like say right Damian Lillard
59th pick in the draft.
Right, like Damian Lillard says that he was underrated, his high school coach didn't believe in him, etc. This may be true, but you're Damian Lillard. Now, and literally that's nothing
Top
but
10 pick.
That's a
compliment.
Arguably, I'm not saying either, arguably top 5 player right now. If we're talking about clutchness in terms of being able to lead a team.
Top 10.
Definitely top 10. In fact, I would probably have to argue top 5 in terms of like I'd have to look at it. But when it comes to who was I just talking about before Dame? Oh, when it comes to Isaiah Thomas, it's like this man was like actually underrated. Like nobody wanted him. He's very, very short. Like, his sister got killed and then the Celtics were just like, all right, shoo. Like, all right, like
he dropped like 53 in the playoff game at
the day after. Yeah. So Isaiah Thomas, I really hope that literally everything you want to accomplish happens. I hope you get back on a team, and I hope it's a winning team that you kill on.
I actually saw some stuff today that the Lakers have been like showing some interest in.
I mean, I get it. It's summer league. I'm not saying but if you could drop 81 in a summer league, you can maybe drop 15 in an NBA game.
He dropped it in
81.
In Jamal Crawford's pro-am.
Not only that, like the game before 81, he had like 60 something.
Yeah, so he dropped 37 in a Drew League game. Then he dropped 63 in an AEBL game. I'm pretty sure that's in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And then he dropped 81 points. I don't care who you're playing against. If you drop 81 points in a basketball game,
that's crazy.
And he's doing it against like those guys aren't bums.
Yeah, like I mean, you remember when
not
like
NBA players, obviously,
like Bleacher Report and SportsCenter and shit. And again, he's literally the best basketball player on the planet. So I'm not coming at him like whatsoever. There's nothing to come at him for. But there's every media page still to this day posting on this day 7 years ago, Kevin Durant scored 66 at Rucker Park.
Oh, that would have been crazy. Get out! Here we go again. Here we go again. Everybody's trying to guard him. Everyone.
Is it Rucker?
Yeah, it was Rucker Park.
Is it Rucker?
And it's like that is very impressive.
So he was built,
but
for the
show
city.
That energy for 5'8" fucking Isaiah Thomas. Like,
yo,
what?
Literally, because it's only like
81.
Just random people on Twitter posting it. Not random people, but like ESPN. Did ESPN post it?
I don't know. Like bigger stars started posting it because Isaiah had there was a little clip that someone else posted of him crying after the game, which completely agree with. Like absolutely. And he posted like a long tweet after that being like, yeah, that clip wasn't posted for you guys to give me sympathy. It wasn't this and that, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, LeBron quoted it and a couple other people quoted it, like, yo, bro, like, just with the praying hands emoji, like, you got this G and shit. It was a couple Lakers, quoted it, which really makes me think. I'm hoping they bring. Even if you only play him for half the. Bro, just please, someone pick him up.
He looks like he got his explosion back.
He said he was back to 100%.
He looks like.
Or at least as much as he can be.
After, I felt that IT looked a little, like, not chubby, but he looked a little bigger when he was playing on Washington.
Now.
And yeah, he's back to looking like he was like his physique for when he was on Boston. And like he has that shift in his back, like that move where he like
shift
team post up and just blows right past you.
And he's doing up and under crazy layups and shit like that. So
like at one point, Isaiah Thomas, like I've seen many videos of Isaiah Thomas throwing down windmill dunks.
Mm-hmm. Which is fucking insane. Like that's
shout out
that's
Isaiah Thomas.
Facts, and we just really hope everything possible like good happens to you.
Yeah, one of my favorite point guards ever. Yeah. One of my favorite players ever.
And you're just
a great guy off the
Isaiah
court.
Thomas is one of those people where my like for him on the court came from my originated with my like for him off the court. So I mean that's just that's why I can never ever dislike him because like I didn't start liking him as a basketball player. I'm not saying I liked him like when he was on the Kings and shit because I didn't really know who he was as much. But I started knowing him where I was like, wow, this is just a good-ass dude. And he's good at basketball. So I really hope nothing but good shit happens for Isaiah Thomas. I know that was a longer segment, but just it was sad shit happened to him. You know what I'm saying? So like, I really hope us Mommas Boys hosts, me and Vito, we only want good. You know, we just try to uplift and, you know, shout out people. And, you know, we'll talk about some fucked up shit. But at the end of the day, we just want to see everybody winning, honestly. And
they don't want to see me winning.
And including everybody who watches this podcast.
Facts.
And other than that,
you know what we got to talk about real quick?
What's that?
King Shark.
Oh, facts, really quick.
King Shark.
I'm not going to get into the other suicides quick because we don't. That'll take way too long to get into the other dude.
Real talk. Sylvester Stallone.
I need a video.
That was his greatest acting performance of all time.
Absolutely. I need a video of him saying his lines because I'm not the biggest like superhero guy. I'm not against it. I've never gotten into them like that. The Dark Knight,
Christian comic book movie.
Christian Bale was the only like superhero, and then maybe like one Iron Man type shit. Because obviously, who doesn't like Robert Downey? But I was never the biggest superhero person like that. Suicide Squad 2.
It was fantastic.
Everything about it was awesome.
It was fantastic.
And I'm not even like saying that in like a trying to be funny or like a fake way. It's like it was hilarious. It was cool. The plot was kind of cool.
And that's what the Suicide Squad is. Mm-hmm. It's raunchy. It's funny. It's
and I never
violent.
knew that before. I never knew the raunchiness and shit, which was awesome.
Like, well, just think about it. The guys that are the members of the team. King
fact.
Shark,
John Cena.
Harley Quinn, Peacemaker.
John Cena. John Cena.
And his name is Peacemaker.
But no, honestly, me read book.
Yo,
me smart. And then John Cena's like, the book's upside down.
Shout out Weasel too.
Fat bro, and he was alive at the end of the movie
shout
too.
out, bro. He's on that deserted island. He's about to turn into King Kong.
But no, I'm officially changing it. Right here is where you will see it.
Fuck Marvel.
Fuck Marvel, facts. But there's nothing wrong with Batman. Christian Bale will forever be the greatest Batman of all time, and he's still my all-time favorite. But right now, 2021, in the month of August, King Shark is my favorite superhero.
Well, King
Shark.
DC has come out with the best comic book movie of 2021.
Is it the Snyder Cut?
Oh, did that come? No, that came out in 2020.
That was 2020,
I think that came
really?
out in December.
Oh, that came out deep ago. Shit.
Yeah.
Damn, I don't know why I thought that came out in
The Suicide Squad was better than Black Widow.
Okay.
We still have Shang-Chi, The Eternals, and Spider-Man. Oh, fuck, I forgot the name of Spider-Man 3.
Before that new one comes out, I need to see the first two.
You haven't seen them yet?
I saw all of Tobey Maguire's and Andrew Garfield's, and then I have nothing like Tom Holland's awesome, and those movies are probably because I mean,
they're fantastic.
The creator of fucking Spider-Man said Tom Holland embodied Spider-Man more than anyone ever has. So yeah, they're very good. I just haven't gotten around to it, and I would do anything in this world for Zendaya. So yeah,
shout out Zendaya, shout out Euphoria.
Absolutely, just shout out everything about Zendaya.
And what's so great about the Suicide Squad is it's rated R.
Really?
It's rated R. It had to have been.
I just like how, I mean, I just don't really be looking at that shit anymore. Yeah. Like, I just don't even look at the ratings because I'd be watching PG movies for fun, too.
And, and also, are you a fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies?
I don't want to fakely say yes, but, like, they're cool. I just haven't seen all of them.
Okay.
We'll say it that.
Yeah. Well, the director of the Guardians of the Galaxy directed the Suicide Squad.
Wait, really?
Yeah, James Gunn. And his brother was actually the guy that voiced Weasel.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool how like people like kind of like wean ways into shit like that. Like
well, James Gunn's brother is also Kraglin in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Really?
Yeah. Like
that's so fucking cool.
Mans.
So shout out to DC, and honestly, like you have to and this is coming from someone who isn't the biggest comic book superhero
Star
person.
the Conqueror.
You have to go see Suicide Squad 2. King Shark will absolutely be your favorite movie character of 2021. I promise you. King Shark, I want to be your friend. I want to fight crime with you.
I want to be your friend.
I love everything about King Shark. That's all I gotta say.
You know what got me sick?
What?
When he went up to the aquarium and those little fucking blubber fishes.
New dumb friends.
Yeah, new dumb. He was so fucking hype, and then they started biting him and trying to kill him.
I know.
Yo, I thought that King Shark was dead.
But he didn't because he's King Shark.
Because he's built like that. He really like that.
I'm not gonna front. He really is built fucking different. He's not
different.
just like a man shark. He's just also like just doesn't die.
No,
so
he's King Shark.
I don't think it could have. And if anyone other than Sylvester Stallone voiced it, it would have done it a disservice. So shout out to James Gunn for like picking Sylvester Stallone for that voice.
Oh yeah. Shout out Idris Elba too. How the fuck?
Amazing.
How the fuck could we forget about top 5 sexiest men on this?
I'm not gonna lie. Idris Elba absolutely has turned into an actor that I will never be able to watch in a serious movie. He is just hilarious.
He's
to me.
fucking hilarious.
I love, bro.
He was hilarious in
the
Suicide
Office.
Squad.
Oh, in Suicide. Yeah. Well, because first, right, and again, this is sometimes my unversed self. I knew who Idris Elba was for a long time, but I didn't see him act in anything other than when he was in The Office for that couple seasons. And he was just absolutely Charles, I forget what his name is, but fucking hilarious in The Office. So and I always liked him. And obviously he's one sexy individual that has an accent, which is like, how could you look past it? This movie, hilarious. Absolutely. His acting is awesome.
Another Easter egg from the Suicide Squad, which I think is really cool because it's a DC movie. Polka Dot. His name is David Dastmalchian.
Dope character.
Super dope character. I was so sad when he died.
He was,
I'm a motherfucking superhero.
I'm a superhero! I'm a motherfucking superhero!
And then died.
That was sad. But he was in The Dark Knight. Yeah.
Like the Christian Bale type one?
The Christian Bale one. Yep.
He was the schizophrenic guy, wasn't he? I like how I knew that, too, because that's fire. He's the dude that fucking took the shot, and then Christian Bale had him in the ambulance. That's fucking cool. See, that's what I mean, where it's just like, I could tell you anything about any scene in any line in any type of Dark Knight movie, and now Suicide Squad 2, but if you ask me anything about other, I need to start watching superhero movies.
So, James Gunn, who was a Marvel director, his brother, Taika Waititi, who directed Thor Ragnarok.
Okay, so they're just in the fam.
Which is a great fucking movie.
Great movie.
Heard that. He was also in the Suicide Squad.
Really?
Yeah, he was Ratcatcher's father.
He was the dad?
Yeah.
The homeless dude?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I love that. Was that.
See, and that was a cool story too, because like not to get too dramatic with it, but it was like I really liked the sentiment where it kind of like played into that, like, you know what, like Ratcatcher was like birthed and created.
I love the Ratcatcher.
Me too. And like she was birthed and created on like nothing is like, you know, nothing's bad to her. It's like the dad even said like rats are the most lonely people in the world, so that's why we have like, you know, and the rats protected her at every like case, you know what I'm saying? So
they literally took down Starro the fucking Conqueror. But can I say how dope the scene was when Harley Quinn just jumped right into Starro's eye? When like I shit my pants when she just bursted right through that. Well, no, I did.
That's why I was pissed. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, you are in fact Margot Robbie. You are not allowed to die in these movies. That can't happen."
I just was so visually pleased.
Yeah,
it just looked insane.
You know what's one thing? Great. It's turning into it where it's like this device right here, a phone.
This device
and that's why that's why I'm okay with like not being super smart in terms. I'll never be able to tell you how this fucking thing works. I don't want. Yeah, there's technology, but how does it display a picture? I don't fucking know. Laptop, same thing. Certain cars, yeah. People that make animations on movies, I don't. I could go to school for 50 years now, for 24 hours a day, and I wouldn't know. I don't understand. Like,
I'm gonna try and make some animations on this fucking iPad. I'm gonna try and make some Mama's Boys art.
No, but I even say like special effects shit. Like, say if you could make the animation dope, but it's like How did you all make Thanos be walking around there for 2 hours?
Look like a fucking real physical being.
And 3D type shit. And it's just like
we watched Kong Skull Island last night.
That's such a bro.
It's a really good movie.
So good. And I need to watch Captain Marvel because it's been this way for a while. Brie Larson, I love you. I know you're a very private person, and I would never try to make you feel uncomfortable with my liking for you, but I just love you. So I just hope that message can get through one day because she's a boss bitch.
Shout out Viola Davis as well, Amanda Waller,
Annalise Keating.
What I love so much about Viola Davis is Amanda Waller is she played that role to a fucking T.
She is
Amanda Waller in the comics, in the animated movies, animated shows. Amanda Waller is a fucking badass, hard ass bitch.
The definition of a fucking G.
She doesn't give a fuck.
The definition of, hey, Idris Elba, you're gonna do this for me? I'm gonna kill your fucking daughter. That's literally what she said in the movie. She's like, yeah, like she showed him a picture. She's like, oh yeah, your daughter. Even the people that worked for her were like, hey, like there was one scene where the guy that like her right hand man looked. He's like, you're just messing with him. Like, you're not really gonna do that. And she just looks at him and goes, you'd be disgusted at half the shit I'd really do. And I love, bro, Viola Davis, like, easily one of the, I don't know because I don't know every female actress ever, but top 3 female actresses of all time. Yeah, no debate, in my opinion, my humble opinion. She's just ridiculously talented. Yeah. So, shout out to Suicide Squad. Like, this was one of those movies where you could not...
Put the first one to
and you couldn't have a better cast. This cast was phenomenal.
Pete Davidson was in the movie.
Literally, in the beginning of the movie. He's like, what's this thing, a fucking dog? But, no, I highly recommend all you guys to go watch it. Fuck Marvel.
Tune in. Yeah, fuck Marvel.
Tune in,
we got to tune into the podcast.
I can't wait for my first day. Cheers. Shout out to Annie. Shout out to all you guys.
Tune into the What If series too. I haven't watched it yet, but I got y'all.
We're gonna do that. And until next time,
we keep it real.
We love y'all.
Peace.
Ooh.